Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Allahumma ja'alna minhum minalladhina amanu wa amilus salihati wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. Ameen ya rabbal alameen. Summa amma ba'd. فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربي زدنا علما اللهم فقهنا في الدين اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما اللهم ثبتنا عند الموت بلا إله إلا الله آمين يا رب العالمين. Lesson number 23 we are going to start inshallah, and in this lesson we are going to talk about maf'ul. We are doing Joomla failure, and in Joomla failure we are going to see different kinds of maf'ul inshallah. So let's start. So before we start our maf'uls, let's see what are the components of Joomla Ismiya and Joomla Fi'liya, and it is really important, and that should be on our fingertips. We should know when we are looking at Joomla Ismiya what components we are looking for. So Joomla Ismiya need Mubtada. Mubtada always Rafa. The very first Rafa will be our Mubtada. Then we also need Khabar. Khabar is also going to be Rafa, but Mubtada is proper. Mubtada need to be proper, and Khabar can be common. And there are always exceptions, right? And then we also need we also need Mutalik bil Khabar, MBK. So basically these are the three components: Mubtada, Khabar, and MBK. So Mubtada, as I said, always would be Rafa and proper. Khabar would be Rafa but common, and then Jar Majroor and Zarf fragment. These two things, Jar Majroor fragment and Zarf fragment, they would be labeled as MBK in Joomla Ismiya. Then we have Joomla Fi'liya. In Joomla Fi'liya, obviously, as the name is saying, we need a fail, right? So there would be fail, right? And then this fail, we need a doer who did this fail. So sometimes it can be inside, and sometimes it is going to be outside. So we need fail, then we will have a file, the one who did the job, and then further details. If we have just fail, Joomla failure is complete, because for Joomla failure we need just fail and file, that's it. And when we have fail, the file is already in there, right? So when I say Nasara, he helped, basically this is a complete Joomla failure. But sometimes we're going to see outside doer, because not every time we are going to use pronoun. So sometimes we will have outside doer. So in Joomla failure, we need to think this way, that mostly because we are saying that fail file, and then we have a detail, and detail is always nasab, right? So if in Joomla failure, if you see something Rafa, right? So that should ring a bell. That should ring a bell, and we can think that, okay, that might be a file. So Nasara Zaidun, Nasara is the fail. Zaidun is the outside doer of it, because Nasara has Huwa and Hiya in it. We already did that. And then Hamidan, Zaid helped. Who did he help? He helped Hamid. So Hamid is maf'ul over here. This is the object or the receiver of the action, right? So Hamidan is maf'ul, and then fil masjidi. So jar majroor fragment, zarf fragment, we can have them in jumla ismiya, we can have them in jumla fi'liya, but in jumla ismiya, they will be a different label, and in jumla fi'liya, they will be a different label. So in jumla ismiya, we are giving them label of MBK, and in jumla fi'liya, we are going to give them label of MBF. What is MBF mean? Mutalik bil fail. So they are related to, they are talking about fail. So further detail they are giving, right? So this is how jumla failure are going to work. So we're gonna have a fail, we need a file, right? Sometimes it is inside, sometimes it is going to be outside. When we are going to look for outside doer, only when we have hua version of the fail or hiya version. These are the only two times we are going to look for outside doer. Then we need a maf'ul, and then we need MBF. So these components should be on our fingertips. So we know when we are labeling, we should know what we are looking for. So moving on, we are going to talk about maf'uls. So maf'ul is defined as detail. So maf'ul is defined as a detail that pertains to the action. So maf'ul are always a detail. That details refer to additional information about the action, such as such information includes, so who did the job or what the action was done to, where the action took place, when the action took place, how the action took place, why the action took place. So all these who, what, where, why, when, how, basically we can remember them as 5 Ws, right? So they are always detailed, they are always maf'ul basically. Now take a look at the following example. Ahmed ate chocolate at home yesterday happily because he was hungry. And that was the example we did in our very beginning classes, right? So when we were learning about that, this is all detail. So subhanallah, now we are going to label them and we are going to know more because all these what, why, where, they have different names for as a maf'ul, right? So Ahmed, so what is the action happen over here? Eating, right? So Ahmed ate. What did he eat? So we are getting the answer of what, and that is chocolate. So that is what and who. So what and who is always maf'ul bihi. What and who is always maf'ul bihi. And this most common maf'ul you're gonna find in Quran Pak. Then where did he eat? At home. This is another different maf'ul. Now time, when did he eat? Yesterday. So we are getting the answer of when. And this is also, we're gonna see that this is a different maf'ul, fihi we are going to call them. Then how did he eat? Happily, right? So this is also a different maf'ul. And why did he eat? Because he was hungry. So now this is the giving the reason. And that is also a different maf'ul. So chocolate is giving answer of what, right? At home is where, yesterday is when, happily how, and why, because he was hungry. So we know already how to identify a maf'ul, remember our very beginning classes again, when we were thinking about mansub or nasab, right? That kind of thing we did. So first of all, the very first thing is that we need to identify the action. What is the action? So in this case, action is eating. And then look at each bit of the information in the sentence related to the action and ask yourself who or what did. So who is the doer, and or sometimes it's not doer, right? Rather what happened. And then where, when it is where, that is a different maf'ul, right? And when and how and why. So all these are, inshallah, we are going to learn about them. They have all different names for them. So these are the different maf'uls. And okay, we need to be know that what is when I say fail. Now we need to learn these terms, right? So fail is action, file is the doer. So we, instead of just calling doer now we need to grow up, right? So we need to use the word file for the doer. So fail is the action, file is the doer, and maf'ul is who? Maf'ul is the receiver of the action. So maf'ulun bihi is always who and what. And that is the most common maf'ul. Sorry. Then we have maf'ul fihi, which is going to give the answer of when and where. Maf'ul lahu is going to give the answer of why something happened, why this action happened. In this case, why this happened? Because he was hungry, right? So maf'ul lahu. Maf'ul hal is how did the action took place. And then maf'ul mutlaq is how badly something happened. So these are all 5 maf'uls are mentioned over here. So maf'ulun bihi, maf'ulun fihi, maf'ul lahu, maf'ul hal, and maf'ul mutlaq. One more time, maf'ul bihi is giving the answer of who and what. Maf'ul fihi giving the answer of when and where. Maf'ul lahu is giving the answer of why. Maf'ul hal, how. This one is tricky, but we are not going to go in very detail for maf'ul hal, and inshallah as we keep growing in our learning, that will become easy. Maf'ul mutlaq is also give the answer of how badly something happened. So maf'ul bihi, fihi, and lahu are very easy to spot, but maf'ul hal and mutlaq, they are little tricky, and we need more. We need to be strong. And before we go in detail, we are going to just touch a little bit of them. So moving on, maf'ul bihi, what is the answer we are getting when we are looking for maf'ul bihi? Who and what, right? So look at the example over here. Khalaqa as-samawati wal arda. So khalaqa, he created, right? This is a fail, and file is already inside it. So this is huwa. So if I have to label, I would say failun madin and failuhu huwa. Failuhu is huwa. This is how I should be saying. But if you just say khalaqa, he created, and huwa is the pronoun, that is good enough. But these terms, inshallah, should come to you. So khalaqa, he created, and as-samawati. So now as-samawati, what is the like status of as-samawati? First of all, it has al, right? and then samawati. So what is that? This is basically a combination, right? Samaun. Samaun, we say skies, but sama is basically whatever is above you is the sama. And sama could be the even the roof above me could be the sama. So sama basically anything that is above you. So samaun, samaan, samain, right? And then sama, and we need to add ani, right? So sama ani, right? Sama ani, sama aini, sama aini. And then sama watun, samawatin, samawatin. Muslimatin chart should be perfect in your head. It should be on your fingertips if you really want to be strong, because now we are applying everything, right? And then I put al. When we put al with it, now it is not going to take tanween, right? So that's why it is as-samawati. And now before we used to say that, okay, samawatun rafa, samawatin is nasab jar, right? But in this case, now we are not going to say it is jar. Why not? Because we know that there is no harfu jar over there. There is no harfu jar which can make us samawati jar. Rather, there is a fail, right? So after the fail, if we have an ism, rafa in status, so that could be, we need to then look for maful, right? So that is basically maful. And now we are going to look what answer we are getting. So khalaqa, he created. Now what did he created? Samawati wal arda. And wal arda, then we see that waw is the connector over here, right? And even though as-samawati was not kind of showing us that this is nasab, right? Because as-samawati can be confusing for some people, but wal arda is basically telling that yes, it is nasab in status, right? So khalaqa as-samawati wal arda, since waw came and they both are connected, right? So this is basically is what kind of maful it could be? Mafulun bihi. Why? Because I'm getting the answer of what did he created. So I'm getting the answer of what? So this is my maful bihi. And then the second example, fa'akhazahumul azabu. So fa is extra over here. Fa is a connector. Akhaza is basically a fail. So akhaza, and we can see that, okay, it is ending on, last letter has a fatha, right? And this is the marker of fail madi. So fail madi, akhaza is the basically fail over here. And this is, I'm gonna say failun madin, and failuhu huwa, right? And then akhaza hum. So now one more thing we need to remember, that whom is attached pronoun over here. This whom is not independent pronoun. Okay, because it is basically, it's not standing by itself, rather it is connected to akhaza. So akhaza whom, and when that happen, whenever we have a fail, and with the fail we have attached pronoun, we did many times attached pronoun, then always we get what? Maful bihi. So this whom is basically maful bihi, because we are saying fa'akhaza, then he took or he seized. He seized who? He seized them. So we are getting the answer of who over here. And then al-azabu. What is this al-azabu doing here? So this is rafa in status. So basically, since it was huwa, we can expect outside doer, right? So this akhaza, so that's why we're gonna say this is the file of akhaza. So the translation would be fa gonna translate as then the punishment. And now I have to translate file first. The punishment took them or seized them. Okay, so I'm hoping that is making sense to you. Any question?
No, alhamdulillah.
Okay, so moving on. Okay, nasartum. Nasartum, what is nasartum? What pronoun is inside in nasartum?
Antum.
Antum, right? So antum is in there. And what is this who doing here? Attached pronoun, right? And we know that on antum, what gonna happen? We're not gonna say nasartum who, nasartumuhu, right? So this is what it happened over here. And this ha. What is the role over here of this attached pronoun? What is this attached pronoun doing here? We just did over here.
Maf'ulun bihi.
Yes, always maf'ulun bihi. Always maf'ulun bihi, okay? So whenever we have a fail, and with the fail you see any attached pronoun with your eyes closed, you should know this is maf'ulun bihi. That's all. So maf'ulun bihi is very easy to understand. I don't see any problem in understanding maf'ul. That's maf'ulun bihi especially. Now next example, fawajada abdan. Fawajada, and now fa is a connector, right? Wajada, what do you guys think? What is the pronoun in wajada?
Wajadani.
Wajadani, why we will do wajadani? It's not a ism. We are saying wajada is fail, right?
This is ma.
File is huwa.
Huma.
Huma. Oh,
It is
yes.
nasara.
The
Okay.
long alif.
Yes, this alif is huma. The file is huma. This alif is telling us that this is huma. So fawajada, so both of them found. Both of them found. What do they found? Who did they found? They found an abd.
Abd.
So abdan, what is the this is nasab, obviously. So what is the label?
Maf'ulun bihi.
Maf'ulun bihi. Okay, so why we are saying maf'ulun bihi? Because it is giving the answer of who did they found, right? Who did they found? So who and what? Always maf'ulun bihi. Always maf'ulun bihi. So fawajada, so both, this is Surat Kahf. It's talking about Hazrat Musa alayhi salam and his companion, whoever was with him. They found, both of them found Abdan, and this Abdan is Khizr alayhi salam, right? Okay, then we have kharaqa ha. So kharaqa is fail. So what is the pronoun inside? Huwa. Because this is fa, ra, and qa. Kharaqa. Kharaqa means to break something, tore. So kharaqa and this ha. What is the label for this ha then? Fail plus attached pronoun.
Maf'ulun bihi.
Bihi.
Maf'ulun bihi.
Kharaqaha, so he tore it. It's referring to the boat they were traveling in, right? And then he just tore it. Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. Sorry, Hazrat Khizr alayhi salam. Okay, now, so mafulun bihi, let's see more practice of mafulun bihi. That whenever we have a fail and attached pronoun, always mafulun bihi, right? So nasarakum. Nasara mean he helped, right? And what is this kum doing here?
It's
Attached
Attached
pronoun.
pronoun mafulun bihi. So he helped
them.
you all.
You all.
He helped you all, right? This is how we are going to do. Okay, allamna. What is the pronoun in allamna?
Nahnu. Nahnu.
Nahnu. Okay, and then this who is what?
Mafulun bihi.
Mafulun bihi. And how we are going to translate what is allamna mean?
We taught him.
We taught.
We taught him. Very good. We taught him. And how we are going to label it?
So alam is the fail.
So we're gonna say failun madin.
Failun madin.
Failuhu.
Failuhu huwa.
No.
eh,
No.
Oh, failuhu na. So it's nahnu. And,
Yeah.
and who is mafulun bihi?
Very good. One more time. So allamna, we're gonna say failun madin. Failuhu nahnu. And who is attached pronoun? Mafulun bihi. Right? So who is mafulun bihi? So this is how we are going to label it. Now sa'altahum. Sa'altahum.
Failun sa'alta failun madi.
Madi anta.
Fa'il is
Anta.
anta. And
Yes.
whom is mafulun bihi.
Very good. Very good. So sa'alta, we're gonna say failun madin, failuhu anta, and whom is mafulun bihi. And how we are going to translate?
You ask them.
Very good. Alhamdulillah. You ask them. You ask them. Beautiful. Okay, now sa'altumuhunna.
Sa'altumu fi'l madi. Failu hum.
No, this is this is
Hunna.
look over here. Sa'altum.
Antum.
Sa'altum. Like nasartum. Okay. So don't get confused. This hunna is attached pronoun. So don't look at it first. First, we need to solve what is the fail over here. So if we say sa'altumu, this wow is basically for the fluency. Actually, it is sa'altum, sa'altum, which is like nasartum, right? And now since we are attaching attached pronoun with it, and this is happen with antum. Whenever with antum, we are attaching any pronoun, attached pronoun, then this meme basically going to have a wow with it for just for the smoothness. Because for when we say sa'altum hunna, we need to stop our tongue on tum for the spoon, and then we need to say hunna, right? So that is kind of harder. They want to make it more smoother. So they said sa'altumuhunna. See the difference? Say sa'altumhunna and sa'altumuhunna. Sa'altumuhunna is more fluent, right? So that's why it happened. So sa'altumu and then hunna, and how we are going to label it? We're gonna say failun madin, failuhu antum, and hunna is maful bihi. Clear to everyone?
Yes, alhamdulillah.
Yeah. So whenever this is antum, we need to remember that rule. Okay, that wow will come just for the smoothness. And how we are going to translate?
You all asked.
You all asked who? Hunna. All these ladies.
Feminine.
all of them feminine ladies.
Yeah, so you all are these ladies. Okay, now katabna ha. So just leave the ha alone. Just say katabna. Look at the katabna. So how we gonna label it?
Fi'lu Madi.
Hmm?
Fa'iluhu Nahnu.
Very
And
good.
Ha is Maf'ulun Bihi.
Maf'ulun bihi.
مفعول به.
Very,
Referring to
very
here.
good. And how we are going to translate?
We wrote it.
We wrote it.
We wrote it, or we can say even kataba could be the any writing any message, writing any letter, or recording something, right? It could be anything. So we recorded her, or we texted her, we messaged her, we emailed her, we wrote a letter to her, something like that. Okay, now dakhalu who, what is dakhaluhu?
دخل
So who
دخل
is attached pronoun? So leave this alone for a bit. Now dakhalu.
فعل ماضي فاعله هم.
Very good. So this is like nasaru, right? This wow is telling us that the file is hum over here. So felun
ماضي
madi
فاعله هم.
filuhu hum, and who is
مفعول به.
maful bihi. Very good. Alhamdulillah. Now khataba hum. Now look at leave this hum alone, and the word is khataba.
Huwa.
هو
Khataba. Okay, so huwa. Very good. So felun madin
فاعله هو.
filuhu huwa, and whom is
مفعول به.
maful
مفعول به.
bihi. And how we are going to translate? Khataba mean like having conversation or talking, right? Mukhatib we say in Urdu. So khatabahum, he converts with them. He converts with them, right?
With them.
Now you see that we are bringing with, even though there is no preposition, right? So something that happens. And that is the problem of English, right? In English, we have, when we are translating, sometimes we need to add some preposition or some words, right?
Can we
Now-
also say he addressed them?
Yeah, we can say that. Yeah, address is a good translation. Yeah, he addressed them. Yeah. Now, qara'nahu. So who is attached? We're gonna leave this alone. Qara'na.
Qara is fail and now
فعل
is
ماضي
is نحن
فاعل نحن.
Nahnu.
Very good.
and who is
مفعول به. Who
مفعول
is مفعول
به.
به.
Very good. Very good. Alhamdulillah. And translation?
We read it.
He read it.
We recited it. We read-
Oh yeah, we recited.
Yeah. Okay. Aradani. So ni, we're gonna leave ni alone. Arada. Huwa.
هو.
It's
Okay,
هو.
because on dal we can see fatha. So this is madi, right? So it is we know that this alif is extra over here, but this is basically nasara. So arada, so arada mean he intended, he like wanna do something, right? So and then ni is attached pronoun over here, aradani. So he like intended to do something to me, right? Basically. Okay, now so mafulun bihi is good. Everyone understood mafulun bihi?
Yes, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, how we are going to like what is the marker to understand mafulun bihi, or know that okay, this is going to be mafulun bihi? Two things we need to remember. One thing, if there is no attached pronoun. If there is attached pronoun, it is easy clue that this is mafulun bihi. So whenever we have a fail plus attached pronoun, always mafulun bihi, that's all. We don't have to look for. Maybe there can be other maf'ul, because in one sentence there can be as many maf'ul as required or whatever, right? Because detail, sometimes we are explaining a lot, right? So there is no limit to any maf'ul. So maf'ul can be many in one sentence. But the point I'm trying to make is that whenever we have a fail and attached pronoun, always maf'ulun bihi, we are going to label this attached pronoun. Second thing is, when there is action, you're gonna ask who did it, or what happened, or what is the action, basically, right? So when we get the answer of who and what, this is maf'ulun bihi. Clear? So two things. Who can repeat that?
I can repeat it. Inshallah, it's Humera.
Mhm.
So we have to look for fail. And if there is any attached pronoun with the fail, it's always going to be maf'ulun bihi. And the other thing we look for is basically the 5 W's. What is the action? And then check for the 5 W's.
But 5 W's are all different kinds of maf'ul. For just maf'ulun bihi, we need to look for who and what.
Okay.
Okay, for maf'ulun bihi, just who and what. So now we are going to move on for maf'ulun fihi. And now maf'ulun fihi is when we are asking a question and we get the answer of when and where the action happened. When and where this action has happened, then this is going to be our maf'ulun fihi. Okay, maf'ulun bihi was what? Who and what. When we are getting the answer of who and what, this is maf'ulun bihi. Now maf'ulun fihi is when and where. So look at the example. Warafa'na. So warafa'na, how are we gonna say that? Waw is a connector. Rafa'na, you're gonna say fe'lun madin. Rafa'na is like nasarna, right? So fe'lun madin, fa'iluhu nahnu.
Huwa. Nahnu. Yeah.
Who said huwa?
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, nahnu. I'm sorry.
So warafa'na. So file is nahnu over here. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying we raised. We raised fawqakum. Now what is fawqakum? What is fawqa? Do we know this word?
Special
It's a zarf.
The observe, because it is telling us the position. What is where? Yeah, place. So fawqakum, above them. So
Maf'ulun fihi.
yes, now we are getting the answer of where something was raised, because atura, tur is the mountain Sinai, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that we raised Mount Sinai above you all, right? So now it is telling us where was the Mount Sinai hanging over them, right? Above them. So basically this is maf'ulun fihi. Maf'ulun fihi. And then what is atura over here? What is atura? We raised what? Atura, right? So we are getting the answer of what did we raise. So this is maf'ulun bihi. Subhanallah, see? So warafana fawqakum tura. So tura is maf'ulun bihi and fawqakum is maf'ulun fihi over here. Okay, and then next one is inni da'awtu qawmi laylan wa nahara. Now this is the tricky one. So basically this is Joomla ismiya, right? Because inna and its ism, we are going to take them as a Joomla ismiya. But forget about it, because if I explain that is going to be very complicated. I'm not gonna go that route. So just forget that there is no inni. And we're gonna just say da'awtu laylan wa nahara. So da'awtu mean, what is da'awtu? What is pronoun inside?
Ana.
Ana, very good. Nasartu, right? Da'autu is like nasartu. So we're gonna say Felun Madin, Failuhu, Ana. And now Da'autu, I called. This is Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that I called who? Qawmi, my nation, my people. I called my people Laylan wa Naharan, day and night. So now day and night, what do you think? What answer we are getting from Laylan wa Naharan? When did Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam is saying that I called them? Yes, Laylan and Naharan is mafulun fihi. Okay, now the autu, as I said, fi'lun madin, failuhu, ana. Now qawmi, what is qawmi over here? What is the label?
Mudaf ilayhi.
Mudaf ilayhi, yes. And what this mudaf ilayhi doing? What role it is playing? Yeah, why mafulun bihi? Because it is giving the answer of who did he call? Who did he call, right? So he called his people. This is mafulun bihi. Clear? And should I drop the hint now what I was hiding? So basically inni is mubtada, right? Everyone is clear, inni is mubtada?
Yes.
But we need after mubtada?
Khabar.
We need khabar. So basically this whole thing is khabar, but it is jumla failure. So this jumla failure is coming as a khabar. Okay. So just letting you know, there is more into it, but inshallah we will be there very soon. Okay. So this is how it should be work. So whenever that is very common in the Quran Pak, we will see that jumla ismiya starts, we have mubtada and its khabar is going to be jumla failure. Okay. Now moving on, makartumuhu. So this who, I know this is attached pronoun. I'm gonna leave this alone and I need to find this one, what pronoun is inside in makartumu. Who can tell me?
Antum.
Very good, antum. Okay, so this is antum. So felun madin failuhu
Antum.
and this who is
Mafulun bihi.
right? Makartumuhu. What is makartum mean? Like plotting. So you all plotted it or against him. Okay. So you all plotted against him. Fil Madinati. Where did they plot it?
In the city.
Okay. So what is Fil Madinati going to get the label of?
Where?
Mafulun fihi.
Maful fihi. Sorry. So maful fihi is fil madinati, and we're gonna still say jar majroor. Fi is harfu jar, right? And al madinati is a majroor, so we're gonna say that. So further we can break down for maful fihi. Okay, so this is how it's gonna work. Okay, now so mafulun fihi is good. That was easy, right? So when you will see zarf basically, and zarf is going to give the the answer of when and where, right? So basically the zarf fragment gonna be the mafulun fihi in jumla failure. Now the third maful is maful lahu. Maful lahu, and this maful lahu is going to give the answer of why something happened, why this action happened. So now swabaru, what is the pronoun in swabaru? whom. So they all showed sabr, or they persevered. Ibtigha'a, seeking, wajhi, face, rabbihim, of their Rabb. So they did sabr. Why did they do sabr? Ibtigha'a wajhi rabbihim, to see the pleasure of their master, their Rabb, to see the face of their Rabb. So now what answer we are getting over here? Answer of why, right? So this is maf'ul lahu. So maf'ul lahu, basically we need to, the translation can help us when we are reading. So only when we know that, okay, this is basically giving the reason of this action, we are going to label it as a maf'ul lahu. So there is no any marker or anything for maf'ul lahu. Okay, everyone is clear on maf'ul lahu?
Yes.
Okay, moving on. Maf'ul mutlaq. Now maf'ul mutlaq is very tricky, but we are just going to touch the only thing that is like very easy, or the easy to, we are going to just look today, and as we go, be strong in our grammar, inshallah. Then we will come back to these things and touch them again, and inshallah that time it will make more sense. So now maf'ul mutlaq is it says it has three functions. One function is to emphasize the action, and when the maf'ul mutlaq is single word. So maf'ul mutlaq can be a single word, or maf'ul mutlaq can be more than a word. Okay, it could be a sentence. So now when it is a single word, so basically then it is emphasizing the action. It appears as a masdar that shares the same root letter as the fi'l. Again, we will learn more about this in surf study. So when we will learn surf, inshallah, then these things will start making more sense to us. So وَكَلَّمَ اللَّهُ. So what is a kallama? What pronoun is in?
Huwa.
Huwa, right?
Huwa.
Kallama is huwa, because we can see fatha over here on the last letter. So this is huwa. Wakallama, and then we have, when we have a huwa, I see Allahu over here, the word Allahu, right? So this is basically the file of kallama. Right? So Allah spoke. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to who?
Musa.
Musa. So Musa is maf'ulun bihi. Now sentence is complete. Musa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to Musa. The sentence is all complete. If we do not have the word taklima, still the sentence is 100% complete and making sense. So maf'ul mutlaq is not going to add, like it is basically is going to emphasize what is said before. And without maf'ul mutlaq, the sentence is still complete. Okay, so this is something to make more emphasis on something. So now kallama and taklima, when we will do surf, then you would know basically they are from the same bab, and they are having the same root letter, because kaf, lam, mim are the root letter over here, and in taklima, kaf, lam and mim, same root letter. Okay, so as we said over here, that they are going to share the same root letter, right? So this is what it is happening, that we will have a fail, and from the same root letter of this fail, we are going to have some masdar or something related to the same root letter. We are going to have some ism, if it is one word, as a maf'ul mutlaq. And now how we are going to translate? Now taklima we are going to translate as directly. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to Musa alayhi salam directly. So this taklima maful mutlaq is how we are translating, saying that okay, directly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked to Musa alayhi salam. I know it is going to be a little confusing because we didn't do our surf yet. So that's why I'm not gonna stress a lot on it. I don't want to confuse you guys, but you guys need to just focus more on maful bihi, maful fihi, and maful lahu. We know that, okay, that is not any clue, just we need to read through, and if we are feeling that this is basically the reason of the action, then this is maful lahu. But maful mutlaq and maful hal, inshallah, we need to come back to these two mafuls again when we are strong enough. So now moving on, maful hal tells you how the action took place. It describes the state of the doer or the action. So maful hal is not going to just state the like condition of the doer only, but even it can explain how the action happened. And it often translates as an adverb, like angrily, or while, or as. So these are the three way we can translate maful hal. One is we are going to add ly, so look like adverb, or we can translate as while or as. So look at the example. Fa kharaja, so fa is connector, kharaja felun madin, file is huwa, minha from it, so he left from it, khaifan. How did he left? Khaifan, while he was very fearful, right? So this khaifan is giving us the hal of who? Kharaja, he left, right? So he is telling how did he left, how the doer left. The doer left while he was very fearful, right? So this is hal of the kharaja has huwa in it, right? So basically this is the hal of this huwa. How this huwa left? Huwa left while he was very fearful. Making sense? I know.
So minha will be mafulun bihi.
No, mafulun bihi, this is minha, right?
Yeah.
From it.
From
no,
it.
Minha, we're gonna just say jar majroor over here,
Okay.
and that is going to be MBF because we are looking at Joomla failure, right?
Okay.
So minha is MBF over here. We're not gonna say maful fihi over here. Does maful fihi make sense here?
No.
No, I don't think so, right? So minha, we're gonna take as a maful. Sorry.
Jar majroor.
Jar majroor, MBF. Okay. Now next one. One qalabu mean they. So now what is the pronoun? This voice telling me huwa. Sorry, whom? So one qalabu, they left or they returned, basically. They returned. So this is failun madin, failuhu whom, and in qalaba mean he returned. So they returned. Sawirin. They returned how? Sawirin, while they were very humiliated, belittled. So sawirin, now see, sawirin is how many? Is that singular or plural?
Plural.
Plural. So basically
Plural.
this is sawirun, sawiran, sawirin, right? Then sawirani, two people who are humiliated, sawiraini, and then sawirun, sawirina, like muslimina. So now you see that in qalabu has hum in it, right? So this sagirina is basically the hal of this hum. How did they return? They returned as humiliated. Over here we see that kharaja was huwa, and then khaifan is singular, right? So and what is the status of sagirina?
Nasab.
Jar.
Nasab.
Nasab. Not gonna say jar over here now. Now we are that nasab or jar was when we were doing lesson 2, 3. Now we need to say this is nasab definitely, because there is no harfu jar, right?
Yeah.
And sagirina is maful hal. Maful is always going to be nasab in status,
Detail.
right? So they are
Yes.
the status is nasab over here.
Nasab.
Sagiruna is rafa, sagirina is nasab or jar, but over here, since it is maful hal, so this is nasab in status, right? Okay, next example, ba'uridu. So what is uridu? Now this waw should tell you that the pronoun is hum in it,
Home.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is like majhul, and we didn't do majhul over here, so just we're gonna focus on what is the pronoun over here. So wa'uridu, and they will be presented ala rabbika, to or in front of Allah is upon, right? So ala rabbika, but you know we're not always, yeah, in front of, basically it is talking about in front of your Rabb. It is the scene of day of the judgment, right? So all the criminals, or even like over here, I think it is talking about everyone, right? So they will be presented in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, swaffan. How they will be presented? Swaffan,
Wow.
right? Yeah, in rows. In rows. So this is basically the hal. So how everyone would be presented in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in rows, in a very, like, you know, the army rows, right? In a very respectful way, everyone is standing, humbling themselves down, because today we say that, oh, I'm gonna talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why this happened and why that happened, or why this person did this to me, and I'm gonna say against this person or whatever, right? But over there, we will be muted, right? So no one will have dare to say anything unless he is allowed. So this is basically sofan over here is the hal of how we will be presented. Okay, now leave maful hal and maful mutlaq. We do not have to worry much about them. Okay, our focus is more on what? Mafulun bihi, mafulun fihi, and maful lahu is not a big deal. The translation can help us, right? So, and maful hal and mutlaq, inshallah, we will come back to them. Now, one more thing over here need to be explained is mutalliq bil fail. Mutalliq bil fail, we said that jar majroor in Joomla failure is going to call mutalliq bil fail, right? So now, sometimes what happen in that with the fail, some preposition like all these harfu jar, they are married with them. So they always come with this preposition they are married with. Not every fail, but some of them. So let me say one more time. So some fail are married with some preposition, so they always come with them. And now the problem comes when we are translating them in English. So sometimes there is some preposition with the fail, And when we are doing translation in English, sometimes we are not going to translate them because it is not going to make sense. And other time, what happened that sometimes we have a fail, and there is no preposition with this fail, right? In Arabic, it comes by itself. It doesn't take any preposition. But in English, when we are translating, we have to add some preposition over there. So that is basically the translation problem. So the point I'm trying to make over here is that we will see some word, some fail over here, that they always come with some preposition. For example, we say the word nazara. Nazara means he looked, which means to look, and comes, and that is always going to come with ila. Nazara, ila. He looked at him. In English, even we say looked at him. We don't say looked him, right? We always add some preposition. So same thing is basically, we can see that when we are having nazara, we always need to say nazara ilayhi. So he looked at him. We cannot say nazarahu, like we were doing nasarahu, khalaqahu, right? But some words are married with some prepositions. For nazara, we have to have ila with it, right? So nazara ilayhi. And now if we look at the point, if I say nazarahu, we were saying this who as a as what? Maful bihi. But when we are adding nazara ilayhi, now we are not going to say it, this is maful bihi, rather this is jar majroor now, right? So even though this basically jar majroor is maful bihi, because it is saying that he looked at, who did he look at? Looked at him. Are you guys getting what I'm trying to say here? So this
I'm
who,
lost.
you're lost?
Yeah, me too.
Sorry.
Okay. When I say nasarahu, so how we were labeling it? We were saying failun madin, file is huwa, and this who is what?
Mafulun bihi.
Mafulun bihi. Now, if I say nazara, and I cannot say nazarahu, that would be wrong. I need to say nazara ilayhi. Now, actually, this who, which was supposed to be mafulun bihi over here, now this ilayhi, because I have to bring ila, now this is MBF. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Did you guys get it now?
I got it. When it's jar majroor, then it comes in like that. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So some fail, they are always going to have some preposition with them. So in this case, then we are not going to even though if I translate, I say nazara ilayhi, he looked at him. So now you can say that there's this ilayhim is mafulun bihi, because he looked who? He looked at him, right? But since ila is over there, so basically it is going to be MBF.
Yes.
Okay, so this is what I'm trying to say here. And now look at some more example. Nazara ba'duhum ila ba'din. So nazara means, see, again with nazara we see ila over here. So nazara ba'duhum, some of them looked at others, right? So nazara ba'duhum, how we are going to label it? Nazara is failun madin.
Failu huwa.
huwa, and ba'du.
Ba'du, whom is mudaf. Hold on, it's mudaf, mafulun fihi.
Ba'duhum, mudaf, mudaf ilayhi, no?
Mudaf, mudaf ilayhi, and then won't it be mafulun fihi? Because some of,
When and where?
oh, bad. So it's a zarf, isn't it? Bad?
Yeah,
No.
it is zarf. Yeah, but not every zarf.
Not every
Because-
zarf is mafulun fihi?
Yeah, because it is not giving us answer of when and where, right?
Oh, I see.
Zarf
Okay.
is only, you know, special mudaf and zarf. We did that. Special mudaf, like we have a big list of special mudaf, and in these special mudaf, some of them are true zarf, right? They are giving the like position and place, and time, right? So they are mafulun.
Fihi.
They are mafulun fihi, and they are the zarf.
Okay, okay,
But
okay. I got it.
some of them like kullu. Now kullu mean all of like everyone.
Right.
Now kullu is not zarf. Kullu is special mudaf, but not zarf.
So
you get
it
it?
won't come under mafulun fihi. I got it.
Yeah. So ba'duhum is over here, and ba'du. Why it is ba'du?
I don't know.
I told you guys that whenever we have jumla failure and we see something
Outside door.
rafa,
Outside
yes, outside
Rafa,
do.
outside
This
door.
is nazara is huwa, right? So that's why we are translating that some of them looked at others. So ila badin is others. Okay. So baduhum is basically is the outside doer for nazara. And ila badin, I'm gonna label it as a MBF. This is how it's going to work. Then look at the another example. It says summa, then sarafakum anhum. So sarafa is what? Like nasara. So this is huwa, right? Sarafa and hum is mafulun bihi over here. And anhum. Now this anhum is with sarafa, it is always going to take the preposition an. Now when you guys recite Quran, you need to look at these verbs, that what verb is take what preposition. You will find so many that they are kind of married with each other. So sarafa always come with an. So they sarafakum, he averted all of you away from them. Anhum, away from them. Then we have dua, we make watawakkal ala Allah. Okay? Like we say that you all. So Prophet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to Prophet that you put tawakkal ala Allah, wakafa billahi wakila. So wakafa, waw is connector, kafa is basically huwa, failun madin file is huwa, and you see billahi. So sufficient is Allah as wakil, basically we are saying over here, right? This ba, you see that this is extra. This ba is basically married with kafa. So always kafa will come with the preposition ba. And even when we are translating, we are not translating this ba. We are saying that Allah is sufficient as wakil. Allah is sufficient as wakil. Wakafa billahi wakila. And then taba ala and taba ila. So sometimes taba comes with ala and sometimes come with ila. Now, what's the difference? When it is taba ala, it is basically referring to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when he is turning towards someone in forgiveness. And when we when it comes with taba ila, so basically it is human the people who are turning towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in repentance.
Subhanallah.
Okay, so you will see in Quran Pak, whenever you see the word Taba, you need to look, okay, is that Allah or Ilah? You will see that whenever it is referring to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will find Allah over there, because Allah ta'ala is turning towards someone in forgiveness. And for human, you will find Ilah. When someone is doing Toba, it would always be Ilah. So subhanallah, a lot to learn, and the time runs so quickly and so fast, and we were not even able to do the practice of it. But I don't know, maybe we're gonna continue inshallah with mafools. And next class inshallah we will do a lot of practice. Okay, and what is the homework? Homework is that you are going to label Joomla failure and translate them. So the first is Daraba Hamidun Mahmudun. I put very easy one inshallah, so you guys would be able to spot. So Daraba Hamidun Mahmudun. Easy, right?
Yes.
So inshallah these are the ones, and I put some translation, so it will become easy for you guys. So this is the homework, and then we have this is from Quran Pak, like different ayat are taken from there. So barakallahu li wa lakum fil Quranil Hakim wa nafani wa iyyakum bi ayati wa zikril hakim. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifuna wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.